you also said that you think that, well, this is the quote here, the technocrats are villainizing carbon.
Mhm.
Do you think that's a similar thing, that it's just for money and control?
I do believe that. It's incredible to me. You and I have discussed how breaking the cycles of nature are so damaging. Have such horrible, unintended consequences. And the carbon cycle is one of those cycles,
Hmm.
but it's exactly one of those cycles,
Just one.
and one. And the cycles of nature is not like, well, you got to have the best two out of three. That's not the way that works. They've got to all work together.
Hmm.
And the carbon cycle is one of them. But if we fix the carbon problem, let's just say that we can all agree that we've got a carbon problem because of what you said, all that ancient carbon in the soil and putting it up there, it's
Yeah.
gone from liquid solid in the ground to gaseous
Hmm.
in the air. Uh, well, all we got to do is just get that carbon back down. That's all you got to do. That's not right. I mean, it's if you, I'm sure technology has, and if not, it can have, or technology that'll pump the carbon out of the air and sequester it
Hmm.
in a block that we can put in a warehouse or pump back into the ground or whatever.
Yeah, they're working on
But
that.
that does not make the it does not make the carbon available to the microbes, which we discussed.
Hmm.
So I think there's going to be a lot of money there's already people making a lot of money in the carbon measuring business. There environmental engineering firms that are measuring carbon and getting paid a lot. And I mentioned the case of our studies done. Qantas, environmental engineering firm, was paid a lot of money by somebody else, General Mills, to measure the carbon on my soil, in my soil.
Hmm.
And they said it's X, 5% organic matter. Other environmental experts argued that no, it's not X, it's 75% of X or 50% of X.
Hmm.
It's all super, uh, none of it's really accurate. I
Mm.
mean, you can't measure how, you can have 2 million pounds of carbon per acre in soil. I mean, it's just so, we're paying a lot of money to measure it and not much money to sequester it. Once we measure it, we hadn't done anything. You gotta get the carbon down and get it
Mm.
down where it's in the flow of nature doing some good, not
Yeah.
not putting a drum in a warehouse.
Mm. I think that's important, that like it is just one of the cycles and it all has to work together. It's like they're pointing at it and saying carbon is bad, but it's like, no, carbon's not bad inherently. It's just an element, and the
It's an
system.
element on the periodic chart. Most of the solids in your body is carbon. Carbon's not bad.
It's
It's
just.
just in the wrong place,
Mm,
and it's the cycles of nature are broken.
you have to rebalance the system, and the answer isn't just technology to suck it out of the air. You need to rebalance the system. We need to figure out what we're doing to mess up the system in the first place and stop doing that.
And a lot of us have figured it out. I mean, it wasn't rocket science. We figured it out. We got that.
Just
Not
got,
just me, a lot of us.
just got to do it now at a wider scale.
Well, there's a lot of money. There's a lot of people, powerful people, making a lot of money on the current system. Big ag, big tech, big food, and there's a lot of improvement to be done by changing the system, but there's not necessarily a lot of money to be made by these big, powerful multinational corporations.
So it has to come at, I've heard you say, at the consumer level, that there's not really the incentive for these companies to do it. The consumers have to demand, like, we want better.
Well, the big interests are de-incentivized financially
Hmm. Yes.
to change the system. The system's working beautifully for them.